everyone. This is our day 2 walkthrough video for externalities and public goods. We'll be discussing positive externalities and kind of sharing the thought process behind some of the activities you'll see today. So we have students start off with a bell ringer that they sort goods at a supermarket into overproduced, underproduced, or produced at the right amount. We want students thinking about whether bystanders are affected by these common goods. And it's not about whether they get them correct, just we want them thinking about these things. We're going to explain more about the flu vaccine. That's going to be our example in our video later on. So for example, deodorant may positively affect bystanders, whereas salsa probably does not. Then we remind students about the definition of an externality we introduced in day 1, and then follow up with the specific definition for a positive externality. We want students to understand that the market is likely to underproduce goods with positive externalities. And so we want them to think up some examples. They may refer back to what's in the bell ringer. And then we give them some more examples that they can think about of public gardens or research and development. And then finally, we follow up with that clarification on the flu vaccine and positive externalities. We've got a great video, one of our latest videos, covers what is a positive externality and how to graph one. And so we talk about the flu vaccine in that context. As with all of our videos, we have timestamps where you can stop the video and follow up with questions to make sure students are tracking with the information. What is a social surplus? Right, we want them to understand that's the combination of consumer, producer, and bystander surplus. So it's taking into account the benefits to bystanders. And we want them to understand the social value is much higher, right, than the private value. So this is our graph, right, from the video. So the video shows this graphing, but we wanted to reinforce and give you an opportunity to follow up with that with its own question, right? And then giving students a chance to explain deadweight loss. This is a great opportunity for students to turn and discuss with their neighbor, make sure they understand it, and then record their explanation, right? And we've got one there for you to discuss on the slides. And if you need it, right, here's your reference for graphing a positive externality. And then we ask them to think about what's a way to solve a positive externality problem, right? So we're going to follow up, just as we did on day 1, with Pigou's solution. And so in this case, we're going to discuss Pigouvian subsidies and where we might apply those subsidies, right? So here's our graph of the subsidy, right? So the supply plus the subsidy is going to be that total value curve. We have no deadweight loss. Then, just like in day 1, we follow up with an interactive practice. So in this case, students can graph positive externalities. They start by graphing a demand curve and then the social value curve. And they're going to answer some questions about the market equilibrium compared to the social equilibrium. And then very similar to day 1, we give students 4 examples and they have to determine whether there's a positive externality. It's okay if students have different interpretations of these. What we want is for them to think about and identify bystanders and really see what's happening there and whether a Pigouvian subsidy can resolve the externality problem, right? So here's the graph that they have in their student activity sheet. And really what we want them to see is, right, this is foreshadowing our day 3, what's coming up tomorrow is a Pigouvian subsidy going to solve the problem, right? So thinking about whether our solution that we've currently proposed is going to work and in different contexts. As always, we have an answer key for you, and then we've got your exit ticket. So these are true, false questions. Students can practice and review their understanding of positive and negative externalities. If you haven't already, you can request our unit plan on externalities and public goods, and there should be a link to take you there, or you can move to the next video.